Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Cold Steel 2. We are on the Courageous and for today we have a lot of talking to do because we did notice that a lot of towns have different texts for the people living in there, and you know me by now, I cannot let that slide. We need to talk to everyone because who knows, maybe they have items for us or maybe some extra quests that we can do for AP. And I've missed some AP in the beginning of the game, and I said since then I will not rightfully so miss any more. So for today we're gonna go to hopefully two places to talk to everyone, which is Twin Dragon Bridge and Lake Lacrima.
Right.
And hopefully if we have some more time we're gonna go to other places as well, because it looks like, except for Roer still has the same old text. Those two places have new ones. In Ymir we did last time, so for today I want to focus on that. And the next episode we're gonna address the hijacking, because the hijacking really needs to be taken care of, and we might get some students back. And after that we'll look around Courageous to see where all the students are. So, because we already have a few new ones on here, but I think waiting until we found the entire batch, I think that would be a good time to go about the Courageous and seeing where they are. So for now, let's head on down and start talking.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Twin Dragon Bridge.
Full speed ahead!
Because when we were fishing there at the last time, I did talk to one or two people just to see if it's different, and they were talking about Roer, and they were in different places. The place where a Neidhart stand is a lot more tanks, so yeah, we'll definitely have to go through all of that. Alright, let's see what they have to say to us. Hopefully we can learn something new. That would be very interesting, and who knows, maybe another recipe. Ah, damn, looks like the 4th Army Division title isn't the strongest, isn't just for show. They're a whole different ballgame from those provincial army guys. Their chefs so good that none of them need to come here for their food either. It'd be nice if the troops from the armored division would at least stop by once in a while. It would be nicer if this war would end at all already. I totally agree with that. Nothing good can come from a war, so let's just end it as quickly as possible. And yes, I'm running low on money, because every bit of money and sapit and things we get, I'm trying to put it in my characters to upgrade them. So I have opened up a few slots. I have replaced equipment already. I think I've got now like 6 or 7 people already done equipment wise. But yeah, it's taking a lot. But we'll get there, we'll always do. Because when things come around, we'll have to change a party and they need to be ready for anything as well. Well, I haven't given up yet. The Transcontinental Railroad is going to be back in business soon enough, and I'm going to be the one who makes a killing of it by sticking around here. Hopefully the trains come back in service soon, cause staying here is really wrecking up my tab. I gotta find a way to make some money on the side. Maybe some bets about when the war is gonna end? People do like betting every once in a while. Not me, but I've known people that does. We're not allowed to get through and get on the tracks. Would have been cool if we still were able to do that. Even though we don't need to sneak around anymore. We finally finished moving all we need here for the time being. Which means that we of the 4th Army Division can finally turn on our attention to our next goal. Another place that needs to be beaten? Just because we have a major fortress like this as our new base doesn't mean we can let our guard down. We need to keep a close eye around both Trista and Bereahard. There's no telling how our foes will move next. Yeah, because there will be some form of retaliation, I'm sure of it. Because taking over this place was a major turnaround point. Because that means that we showed that this army is to be reckoned with. So the noble alliance had to be more on edge. So I am wondering what their next step will be. Right? But for now, our only concern is getting that Cimmerian crystal. so we can make a new blade for our good old friend Valimar. This base was constructed during the Middle Ages, so there's all sorts of interesting gimmicks to it. Hidden passageways and trap floors seem to be the most common ones. We've just about done with our inspection, however. It's time for us to move to the next stage. Which is... Okay. Major Neidhart has finally returned. Now we can finally unleash our true military might. Of course, maintaining our line of defense would have been easy enough, even without his presence. Future battles will be our chance to show exactly how and why the 4th Division is renowned as one of the strongest divisions. We're renowned for having the strongest firepower thanks to the presence of Lieutenant General Gregg and Major Neidhart. We'll be able to show the meaning behind that claim on the battlefield soon enough. Yeah, just try to refrain from blasting these things in the neighborhood of towns, please. Uh-oh, she's at it again. Just don't make eye contact with her, okay? Otherwise she might order us to disassemble the tanks again. She's probably the only person I know who main enjoy in life is doing tank maintenance. The tanks that Officer Virginie works on always performs well in battle. Still, I look forward to seeing how they'll fare next time. I suppose it makes sense for her to be so skilled when she practically is a walking encyclopedia on them. The only other armor unit officer I can think of who can hold a candle to her is Hoover from the 3rd Division. You should have seen the two of them going at it during practice one time. Incredible, doesn't begin to describe it. Well, Officer Virginie is certainly an attractive lady, no one can contest that. Her borderline fanatical love for the tanks is kind of a deal breaker though. Such a shame. Why is that a deal breaker? Having someone that is passionate about something can be incredible, it really is. Why can our maintenance crew do their job properly? They're supposed to be pros. Look, there's still mud all over the treads. And this damage to the cannon needs to be fixed. It might seem small, but it'll ruin the weird weight distribution. Oh, Idios, there's even part of a shell stuck here. There we go, my little beauty. You're all ready for the ball now. Time to run some engine tests. I need 2 people over here. Stat. Yes, ma'am. Allow us to help. I love quirky characters like this. I really do. Because they make things interesting. The upcoming battle should prove to be a simple one, sir. The troops stationed at Orc's Fort are mere reserves, if you will. Personally, I'd be more concerned about those Jaegers they've hired instead. The new alliance's main forces are comprised of real elites of each provincial army. They've been assigned to high priority areas like Heimdallr. We won't fight them this time, but it's only a matter of time. That's true. It's only a matter of time before we start hitting the generals. The upcoming battle should prove to be a simple one, sir. But, of course, preparation for it will be as thorough as always. Yes. Alright, let's check up on Gregg. I'm impressed just how well Major was able to investigate the internal affairs of the enemy forces. It's finally time for us to begin making our next move. Naturally, that will be recapturing Heimdallr. Word has it, the 3rd Armored Division has already begun planning their next operation. One-Eyed Zax has certainly earned his reputation. We don't have time to admire him though. We've got our own work to do. Yes, I read the reports on what happened in Norcia Province. It seems you and your classmates played a pivotal role there. But keep in mind that the main reason you succeeded is because the enemy didn't anticipate a 3rd faction. Don't let this victory go to your head. Daring may win battles, but caution and vigilance will win you the war. With the addition of the Panzer Soldier units, Le Guin's army possesses strength greater than the forces we've gathered. In addition, Trista is under heavy guard, which means... He is right though. We shouldn't be compliant with our preparations, and always keep in mind that the enemy still has forces that vastly outweigh our potential. Even on an individual person basis, because McBurns, I think he could take on an army all by himself. I believe Marquis Ragnar has resolved not to play a further part in the war. One of the Great Four has finally fallen. I thought it would be us who had that honor, but it seems not. Nevertheless, you have our congratulations. I'm proud to say I expected no less achievement from the young lions of Thors. Still, you won't be able to steal all the glory from us. It is about time we begin deciding our next move. The 3rd Armored Division has already started preparing to advance on the capital, which means we need to start outlining our own plans at once. Yeah, cause if they attack the capital, this unit needs to attack somewhere else, so that the Alliance forces need to divide their attention, so there's a better chance of each one of them succeeding. Cause, let's be honest, they cannot be at 2 places at once. They're not us. Alright, I think there are a few more places here. Like down at the tracks. Both Aurelia and Wallace's troops seems to be dominating the battle in the western Erebonia. But that's no issue. My blood stirs in excitement at the prospect of facing against forces as great as theirs. The 7th Division holding their ground, but there's no doubt we'll end up facing them should things continue like this. We'll have to make sure we're completely prepared for for that time comes. It's likely that we'll eventually clash with the heroes of the Noble Alliance. The tough thought alone excites me. For now though, we need to focus on preparing for the upcoming battle. Yeah, it excites you, but trust me, when you see those so-called heroes, yeah, you'll be fearful as well. So much blood has been spilled over since the Noble Alliance started this war. And not just the blood of our comrades either, innocent civilians too. That's precisely why this war has to be brought to an end as soon as possible. Yeah. And even though it's like one of each side should win, I do hope it's ours. That's the way the Noble Alliance did things. I just can't agree with that. Damn provincial army and their shoddy work. There's so much equipment here, they'll never even bother to check properly. Well, the more stuff they left behind, the more we can use for our own side. Nobody there. There's one there. The RMP seems to be gradually regaining their footing. I get why everyone's so crazy for them now. Having them on our side is more than reassuring. The RMP seems to be gradually gaining their footing. Alright. Let's get back to the other side. One more place we need to look, and then we can head over to our next location. And I'm thinking, instead of going to the lake, maybe we should go to the proving grounds first, because it's a relatively small location. And we should be done there quickly as well. Well, housing procedures for the tanks have been completed. Now we wait until plans for our next mission are drafted up. I'm sure it'll be an arduous one too, considering how ruthless Lieutenant General Greg is to friend and foe alike. Thank you for your provisions, First Lieutenant Engels. I'm somewhat surprised you were able to gather so much despite enemy surveillance, however. Well, we know our lines that others don't, you see. As long as we can use our main lines, we can avoid most potential issues. Well, impressive. It sounds like you're well prepared for emergencies then. The Icy Maiden's RMP certainly earned their fame. I'm sure we could stand to learn a thing or two from them. Oh, back so soon? The Courageous is as fast as they claim. We're slowly getting a grasp on the situation over here at Heimdallr. We'll be sure to pass on any pertinent information to you all too. Thank you very much. That's the only thing we want. Alright, I think that's it here for Twin Dragon Bridge. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Okay, let's go back to the Courageous and head over to our next location. And like I said, I think the Proving Grounds might be a good one as well. Because I know we have a shrine here, and that's the later part. And like I said before, I still hope that once we've done one, we can do the other three as well. Because, hey, more Cimmeria pieces, I'm not saying no to that. And yes, we still have the cryptids left that we need to beat, and I'm not ready for it yet. I want to reach that magical mark of level 100, which we are very close to, and then I'm gonna have my first real attempt at it. Alright, let's see if there's any potential people here. Yes, there is. Cool. I didn't think there would be here anybody, but hey, it's always good to check things out. Because you never know. People might just show up, especially with a big beast like that around. He's probably there to keep an eye on it. Oh, it's you. Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Don't worry about me. I'll be heading back soon. Lieutenant General Walter, what should we do? Oh, probably a friend that lost his life in this blast. That is the harsh realities of war, isn't it? Yes. Alright. See, most forces have already been moved, so I didn't expect there to be a lot of people here. I was feeling worried about whether we can really handle patrolling the border like this. But then last night, Fiona treated me to some of her cooking, and just like that, I felt a bit more relaxed. I need to do my job the best I can for her, if not for anyone else. And that's how she leads the force, isn't it? By keeping them fed and the morale up high. Oh, she must be in the kitchen, of course. Not in a commanding officer, because he's technically not an officer. She's just here hiding out, making sure she's safe. Wouldn't happen to have seen Warrant Officer Arbecker around, would you? I can't find him anywhere. I'm starting to get a little worried. He had these moments lately when he just seems really distressed about something. I hope he hasn't gone far. Warrant Officer Arbecker is effectively the leader of all the survivors from the 5th Division. He always had a pretty heavy sense of responsibility, so I worry about how he's coping with this position sometimes. Yeah, he's having a bit of a moment, so just let him have that. Because right now, there's no trouble here at the border, so you should be more than fine. Alright. Fiona, where are you? Have you taken over the kitchen duties? Yeah, she has. Oh, hello there, everyone. Oh, you're helping out in the kitchen. That's right, I asked the people from the 5th Division if I could. I don't want to be a burden to them, you know? If they're keeping me safe, I want to do something for them too. A soldier who used to cook here told me all the dishes he used to make too. So feel free to order up an old favorite. Thanks. Haven't had your cooking in ages. The 5th Division soldiers who are here all seems a bit on the gloomy side. I can hardly blame them for after what they've been through. I can only hope my cooking lifts their spirits in a small way. I'm sure it will. Definitely. Is that the same? Yeah, it's all the same stuff that we have at the Courageous too. Which is good. I do hope that once we get the person that wants the sets of equipment and accessories, that it shows us what sets that she can want, so I can hunt for it. Just a little thing I wish for, but if it even isn't, we'll make do. Because I'm pretty sure there are people watching that can definitely help us with that. Alright, another location done. Think it's time for us to head to the lake in the north and see how they are doing.
Where do you want to go?
And like I said, this episode is fully around talking up with people everywhere. Afterwards, of course, with the next one, we're going to do the hijacking. And that will be a lot more interesting than this, I bet. Alright, let's go to Lake Lacrima. And no, I want to go to the nomadic settlement first. Because I don't think there will be anyone here. But we need to check. Just like with Zendergate, we need to go there too. Because if the lake is different, I'm pretty sure the gate will be as well. Alright, nobody here. Good.
Where do you want to go? Full speed ahead!
Yes, and this is the location where I got the mission fish. That's also how I found out that the texts were different. Alright, let's walk around. Oh, guess what everyone? We're moving back south again. It was only just decided, but I'm already excited. There was a lot of back and forth on it, but in the end, I think we'd all rather spend the winter where we used to. The fact is that I'll be able to see Charles doesn't factor into my happiness at all, of course. Oh, it does. It really does, Toma. It really does. I heard the soldiers at Center Gate are discussing their next move. I hope Charles doesn't end up getting caught up in whatever they do. Maybe I should go visit her after all. That's the best way I can get an objective view of the situation. Anyone thinking about this logically would agree. Yes, but you definitely have Charles on the brain, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Khotan's practicing riding a horse. I think he might be able to do it if he's on Zeku's back. So that's what we're trying. Come on, Khotan, you can do it. Let's try riding forward slowly, very slowly. Can we talk to the boy too? There it is. Oh, don't talk to me right now, please. If I lose focus, I might fall off. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just have faith in your abilities. Oh, hey, did you hear? Turns out we'll be heading back south after all. We found out that it's safe enough to do so thanks to Lacan's daily scouting. We'll be a lot closer to Erebonia there, which means this trading post might be back in business soon enough. Now that's something I can look forward to. It's good to know that we can head back south without issue. We're a tribe with no attachment to one sole spot after all. Letting the wind guide us freely is what it's all about. Yeah, but being in a place where you spend the most time, I'm sure that is definitely not a bad thing, and it's definitely in your mind. Which I will not judge you for, definitely. Yes, we do have a northern bracelet, just to be sure. Ooh. How are the sheep doing? I'm the one who takes care of Zeku, but you wouldn't know it by how he acts around me. He runs away every time he gets a chance, pokes at me all the time for no reason. What did I ever do to him? I hope he doesn't throw Khotan off or something. I don't think he would. I think he really likes the two kids, like it's part of their family now. He even pushed my skirt up with his nose the other day. He doesn't respect me at all. Well, animals do a chance to do that every once in a while. The situation in the highlands seems to have calmed down, so this may be the right time to return south. Yet the winds and the heart of this land still feel restless. Perhaps they remain wary after having experienced just how easily a neighboring land's war can reach us. Or perhaps the cause lies elsewhere. Oh, I pray my worries are unwarranted. I don't think they are. I think in the next few games there's gonna be a lot of shit hitting the fan. And I mean a whole lot. Right now, we should simply be thankful that peace has returned to this land. My thanks to the winds and the goddess for their guidance. May this land have a good, fruitful future ahead of it. I hope so too. I truly do. We'd prepare ourselves for the possibility that we might have to leave the highlands, but thankfully it didn't come to that. I heard you've been running into more and more of your fellow students? So I take it your journey's been going well. Yeah, so far so good. It's been a huge relief finding out that everyone's okay. Gonna be a while before we can take Thor's back though. Worry not, all journeys come to an end at some point, and the same applies to yours. So be sure to pace yourself. The last thing you want is for things to go wrong because you were hasty. Understood. All journeys must come to an end regardless of their length. Be sure to pace yourself. The last thing you want is for things to go wrong just because you're rushing. We'll be always wishing you the best. And yes, and this here, this text, I feel is for the people playing the series. Like, It's a long journey, but don't rush it or else you'll miss out. And that's why we're talking to everyone. So yeah, I gladly take this to heart. I can't believe Khotan would be 6 next year, yet he still can't ride a horse. Has this ever happened before? Most children learn by 3 at their very latest, but that's a concern for another day. North is relatively safe now, so let's get back to teaching him next year. Oh, I hope we'll make some progress by then. Have you looked outside? He's on a damn horse. He's making progress. Baby steps, definitely, but he's making progress. Speaking of Khotan, he's making quite a ruckus out there. Lily must be teasing him again. I guess we can forget about his horse troubles for now, as long as he's happy. Oh, trust me, even he wants to ride a horse really badly, definitely. It seems like we'll be returning south after all. Quite a relief, I must say. Life feels so much more peaceful when you're back in the area you're most used to living in. It'll let us go back to teaching Khotan how to ride a horse too. Yeah, I do hope by the next game he will be able to ride a horse like a professional. Ah, at last, we're finally going to be able to move back south. Now that this all has been sorted out, I feel hungry all of a sudden. I don't think we nomads are made to be nervous at all times. We should be alright for now, at least. It helps that we can contact Zendergate if needed. Right, time to get something to eat, and then we can go back to packing. Yes, that is definitely a good idea. The storage, alright. The elderly... Oh no, that's our yurt. Alright. Making great progress going by all locations. I'm very happy with that. Because I was thinking, maybe we even need 3 episodes to talk to everyone, but seems it's going quite well right now. After careful investigation and analysis, I have concluded that the Highlands are largely back the way they were before. At one point, I fear we may have no choice but to abandon them, but it looks like we won't be necessary at all. The winds and the goddess have blessed us, it seems. We've finally been able to confirm the Highlands are safe, so we're planning to move the settlement down south again. The Empire is still at war, so the situation could change at any time. But for now, we can all heave a collective sigh of relief. Then please do. We finished sorting things out in Roer, I see. I can only hope that the experience of being behind bars calms her down a tad. If only we could have your optimism. Oh well, I hope it was fun while it lasted. Still, her aside, I hear Smiths agreed to make a weapon for Valimar. That man's only loyal to his own curiosity, and I'm sure nothing piqued it more than a divine knight. At least you won't have any qualms in terms of results. Delivering a top-notch product is about the only thing that old fool is good for. Well, he doesn't hold back when it comes to Professor Smith. Not that I disagree with a word he's saying. Nope, Smith is a definite ass. But he knows what he's doing, so that's why we use him. And if you come to an agreement that works out for all parties, then why the hell not? Alright, that's the lake done. So where will we go next? Because to be honest, this was all that I planned to do today. But we have still more time.
Where do you want to go?
So more locations to watch. So I say...
Full speed ahead!
Zendergate, because it does fit the location. So it would be nice to have that squared away too. And we can leave Celtic for after the hijacking episode. North seems to have finally returned to being a peaceful land it once was. But I can possibly relax knowing that elsewhere in the country, fellow soldiers are dying in battle. I can only hope that Operation Heimdallr will prove to be a big step towards ending this war for good. I hope so too. The Lieutenant General and the other officers are discussing the best way to liberate Heimdallr. I can only hope that whatever they decide will prove to be a big step towards ending this war. Oh, March is right. We can't stand out doing nothing while our fellow soldiers are out there dying. With the capital occupied, we must look weak to the foreign powers across Lemuria. The longer this drags on, the more violent the flames of war will become. We need to do what we can to stop that. I get what he's saying, but enjoy this little peaceful time we have right now, cause war will light up again. And when it does, it's gonna be fierce. I just know it. Oh, this whole plan to move on Heimdallr has me nervous. I mean, I know the whole thing is still in planning stage at the moment, but even so. The main body of the Alliance forces are made up of the most elite of the elite. They've been winning battle after battle in the West. It's going to be a really nasty battle, and I'm not sure it's one we can win. Are we really going to be able to liberate the capital? Just the thought of this battle has me nervous. It's still in the planning stage though. It definitely is. Also, same stuff as everywhere else. Good. Well, Operation Heimdallr will be the greatest challenge we've faced to date, but it's something we must attempt eventually. While you're here though, allow me to extend my thanks for getting Norcia to withdraw from the war. It may not have been your intention to get them to do that, but the outcome has served as a ray of hope for everyone here. Go forth, fight for the justice that you believe in, and I will ask no more of you than that. Yeah, because this justice usually is in their favor, so yeah. The Alliance has the Black Whirlwind and Golden Rakshasa on their side, along with many other powerful warriors. But everything has a weakness. It's our job to take it and take advantage of it. It's all we can do for the people of Erebonia who continue to suffer because of this war. Well, I think those specific players, I think we're gonna be the one that defeat them for you at some point. We're currently in the process of hashing out the details for Operation Heimdallr. While I may be involved with the planning, it's not looking like I'll be out there on the front lines. I'll be in charge of defending Xander Gate instead. It's not set in stone, but I'm a little disappointed to be honest. Operation Heimdallr will likely be a series of one fierce battle after another. The thought of not being able to join in the fighting is frustrating, but I'll be wishing those who are well. Well, let's be honest, Orgrim, protecting this location is just as important to me. Just the thought of what we're about to do is terrifying. No matter how well we plan, there's every chance of an unpleasant surprise ruining all of our efforts. The enemy constant making new soldiers, they have that battleship, they have the Azure Knight. It's a nightmare. The Azure Knight in particular is hard to predict. It seems to appear largely in the west though. Many victories that would have otherwise been Imperial armies were snatched away at the last minute by that thing. It's certainly as impressive as you'd expect a legendary Great Knight to be. Too bad we're stuck against fighting against it. Hey, once I have a blade, I'm hoping we'll be more on par with him, but we'll have to see. The Noble Alliance is still a real force to be reckoned with, even with the losses they suffered in the East. Even if we work together with the 4th Division perfectly, our odds of winning are 50 at best. It's a fight we can't avoid if we want the free capital though. It's time we all accept that. I think it would be wise to gather all the information we can on these new soldat models. I'd rather not expose my men to any more danger than is necessary. Very well. Let's get in touch with the RMP and see what I can get a hold of. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we just heard that Hoover is a real tanky, so I'm pretty sure if he says certain things are important, that they are important. It sounds like the soldiers have to go all the way to Heimdallr soon. They've fought so much lately already. A lot of them were injured too. And it's not as if I can tell them not to go, if I kind of wish I could. I hope all of them come back unharmed, but I don't know what the odds of that are. Oh, I'm worried about Mom over in Heimdallr too. I hope she doesn't end up getting hurt during the battle. It hurts not to be able to do anything. I wish I could go see Toma. There it is. Go look at your boyfriend, really. Hey, I was trying to talk to that guy, please. If I turn out to be super capable with a tank like Hoover, you think I'll let me join the armor division? Who knows? I heard the requirements for joining are crazy strict. Not to mention the training. You've heard about the climbing marathon from hell, right? Nah, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, I think taking it easy and looking after highlands like this we're used to is the life for us. Yeah, I don't think being stuck a crewman would suit us, to be honest. I've been away from the tanks for only a while, but I've kind of forgotten how you use them damn things. Yeah, I think your old cushy life at the watchtower is the one for us. No, you haven't forgotten. You just choose not to remember because you don't want to get sent to the front. Everyone's talking about this Operation Heimdallr thingy the 3rd Army Division is planning. I wonder what we're meant to be doing though. I hope they haven't forgotten about us or something. Nah, they probably haven't. With a name like Operation Heimdallr, you'd figure the fighting will all be concentrated around the capital, right? But you might be wrong. There's no guarantee the nobles won't end up attacking here during the fight. Which means there's no guarantee Charles won't end up getting hurt. I'm thinking I might have her evacuated to the settlement again after all. I think she wouldn't mind that. I know she wants to be with her father, but being close to Thoma? Not a bad alternative. I worried about my wife over in Heimdallr, but now Charles comes first. I'm thinking I might have to get her evacuated to the settlement again. Still think that's a really wise choice considering the situation. It definitely is. Alright, let's check the other side as well. I expect I'll need to go out and fight during Operation Heimdallr too. Which means my days of patrolling these hallways are likely about to come to an end. The thought of saying goodbye to them makes me oddly emotional. Now that the Northshire provincial army is no longer a threat to us, moving on the capital is finally a possibility. Time to start getting myself emotionally ready, I guess. Yes. Get ready for the battle of your life. That concludes the latest report from the Watchtower. There are no signs of suspicious activity from either Crossbell or the Republic. Ah, the intelligence division was correct then. I should have known it will take more than a war to make them lose their edge. Return supervision of the Watchtower to soldiers stationed there originally. Everyone else, prepare for the liberation of Heimdallr. Yes, sir. The situation in the Northshire province seems to be gradually stabilizing, which means that now's the best chance we're likely to get to move on Heimdallr. We intend to dedicate our full resources to its liberation. Oh, we got an update about the intelligence division saying that the Republic's unlikely to do anything for a while. What we've heard from the Watchtower seems to back that up too. Speaking of the Watchtower, Zets and Manning are going to be overjoyed to go back working there again. They haven't said it, but it's obvious they want to go back for a while. I can't wait to let them know. Yeah, it's their old base of operation. The situation in this region seems to have stabilized for the most part, which leaves us free to consider our next move. The next move being Operation Heimdallr. I plan to take back the capital from the Alliance. We're going to need to coordinate this very carefully within the 4th Armored Division, if we hope to be successful. The situation in this region seems to have stabilized for the most part. Yes, and you guys all did so very well. Definitely. Alright. I think it's time for us to go back to the Courageous. Alright, gonna have one look at the map before we call this an episode.
Where do you want to go?
Alright, so the northern part has all been dealt with. I think Celtic would be the next logical choice. So, next time we're gonna do the hijacking. And after the hijacking, if we have time left, we'll start talking to the last 2 locations we still have on our list. Which is Lunaria Park, Celtic, and of course Legram. Yeah, I think that would be the plan. And I think Celtic and Legram we can definitely do within like a half episode or something like that. So yeah, so that's the plan. So we're gonna go to do the hijacking, get the last 2 students, and of course resolve the hijacking at all. Then we're gonna talk to the last few locations, and I think after that we're gonna do the final side quest. Cruising for bruising. I think that would be a nice thing to do as well, which will be here at the North Cruisen Highway, which we can only reach from Celtic. So when we go talking to everyone, I think Legram will be first and Celtic will be the last. So we can go directly move from Celtic all the way to North Cruisen Highway to beat that side quest too. Yeah. I think we have a plan. Alright, so that's it for today. Like I said, that's what we're gonna do next time. Until then, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we move on to rescue the hijacked people together with Klein and Heimdallr. See you then. Bye bye.